Hello and welcome to Catching Up with Kate, episode 40. I think it's 40. Pretty sure it is. Um, so, how is everyone doing? What have you been up to? I. Oh my god, I've had a fuck of a morning. My roommate woke me up at 4 a.m. because he was working out. And then I didn't get back to sleep till like 6:30 a.m. So I ended up sleeping in and I woke up at 10 a.m. And then I just felt really depressed. So yeah. But I'm here. It's Monday and I got some news sites up. We're gonna go through the news. I was really racking my brain for like, what am I gonna talk about today? So I was like really like I have no fucking idea, but we're gonna go through some news, like world news. Um, at first I had an idea like, oh, what if we went through like funny bans, like funny reasons people got banned from video games, but then I was looking up things on it and it was all just like forum posts and to be honest, I don't really believe a lot of people when they say like I got banned for no reason because majority of those things that I see is like people who play League of Legends. And I do not believe you. If you play League of Legends and you got banned and you say, well, all I said was like GG, it's like, okay, yeah, you got banned for saying GG. Like, I believe that. I believe a majority of those people, there's probably like a couple of hedge cases, sure, because automatic systems are undoubtedly going to have mistakes, but you see a lot of people saying, like, there was no reason I was banned. And it's like, okay, show us all of the chat logs. And it's especially true because you see people who post it but then they like obscure like the top part of like the message that the riot sends you or something, and you can see like just out of obscurity that they've put something there, or you can see it's like a bit blurry, but then you can see another part that they didn't decide to show that you can kind of make out, and it's like that doesn't sound like nothing, bro. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, last video was kind of a flop. Kind of a flop. Actually, the past two videos, bit of a flopperino, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't know. I think we're trying to get used to like what we're wanting to make. I did notice, however, and I'm gonna be making like I'm gonna be taking a break from like those kind of videos because I did notice that, excuse me, there seems to be like a pattern of me doing like videos about weight and like eating disorders and stuff, and I think that that's kind of like I think I made my piece pretty clear on a lot of that stuff. Even though like last video was mostly about like I guess child abuse or whatever, I think, then it was about like body image or like weight and stuff. But even then, I still think there's like a lot of similar-ish content that I'm making at the moment, so I'm gonna take a break from like that kind of stuff, just because it's a bit like, okay, what else is there to say, right? So, yeah, I think it's important to take a step back and be like, is what I'm making like the best I could be doing? And even today, like I'm gonna be so straight with you. Today is not gonna be good at all. I'm so sorry. I'm just I I'm going through it a little bit again. I know it's like, sorry, I'm a bit phlegmy. It's like I just had a huge ass break. Nice. Had a great Christmas holiday. And then it's like I come back here and I'm kind of depressed again. Kind of not great again. And that's a little bit sad. Because it's like, well, what do you do when, like, your living environment, your home, is like probably the source of like your depression. What do you do about that? How do you even like, you know what? I'm gonna look this up because this is actually relevant to me right now. Hold on. What to do when your living environment is depressing? I better not come up. It better not come up with an article being like, if your home environment's depressing, just like go outside and hang out with your friends and like, have you tried talking to the people in your home environment? All right, number one, I looked up, by the way, what to do when your living environment is depressing. Number one, Psychology Today. Now, Psychology Today, I used to read a lot of Psychology Today, but I think that they've had some controversy in the past. I think, if I'm remembering right, they had written something about like domestic violence or something, and people did not like what they wrote about it. I don't remember exactly, but we could probably look that up actually. Okay, let's put in some timestamps, shall we? 06 what to do when depressing home. What to do when home is depressing. Alright, let's look at this bitch. 10 things people with depression need to do every day. I already know what it is. Get enough sleep, drink enough water, walk. Oh, we should guess. We should guess and look at it. Okay. Okay. My guess. Drink enough water, sleep, get like fucking 20 hours of sleep. Everyone always says that. Okay, water, sleep, exercise, like go out for a walk or some shit or spend time in nature. Meditate. Meditate's a fucking big one, let me tell you that. Um, okay, we got meditate. Ooh, what else is there? Friends and relationships. Make sure that you have like friends and relationships, like family and shit. Make sure you have those connections and you're talking to people. Oh my god, my hand is so fucked. That's just 5. I can't think of 5 more, so I'm just gonna. Can I address this, by the way? This is also another reason why I'm feeling so depressed. Is okay, you know what? Let me change like the color of the light because this will help illuminate what I'm going through. Look at my fucking wrist. Here's like a fucking like 360-degree view, or 180, I guess. It's like this is my eczema, by the way. It's probably not as it's always the case, huh? And then look at the back of this hand. It's like yeah, my eczema's all over my wrists, specifically. Um all over the back of my hands and my fingers. In between like the webbing of my fingers as well. And it makes it really hard to do anything because your hands, as you might know, are an evolutionary part of why we're the way we are. I guess. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an evolutionary scientist, but I just know I'd be knowing things and that hands are really important to doing shit. So who would have thought? Who would have thought? Actually, yeah, it was really depressing. I was at Woolworths the other day, yesterday. 40-degree weather yesterday, Celsius. Um, so pretty fucking hot. Pretty fucking hot. We went through a heat wave over the weekend. It is like the middle of summer for us. Anyway, I'm looking at like the skincare aisle and I'm looking at like the eczema lotion that I always buy, Dermaveen. Shout out Dermaveen. And I'm just looking at the price and I'm like, a liter of hand moisturizer that I use is 30 Australian dollars. 30 Australian dollars. That's probably like 60 USD just for one fucking bottle. Hold on, let me look up USD to AUD. Let me get the real conversion rate for you guys. Oh my god. Yeah, so 30 Australian dollars. Oh, wait, no, I had the conversion totally wrong. Sorry. 1866 in American freedom money. My hand moisturizer, a liter, would be $18 in America. In Australia, it's $30. Yeah. Oh, let me make sure that's right. Is that right? My god, 30 Australian dollars. $18. So I was looking and I was like, that's a lot of money. And I was just thinking, like, ages ago, Caleb suggested to me, like, hey, try and figure out where you can, like, bulk buy this stuff because it's like, well, you're gonna use it. You're never gonna run into a situation where you're like, do I need eczema lotion for my, like, lifelong skin condition that I'm gonna have for the rest of my fucking life and is basically a disability? Yeah. Yeah. So it just kind of makes sense that you look for, you just look for eczema stuff. Hold on. I really fucked up the timestamps here. And so it's like I was I was standing in front of it and then I went on my phone and I was looking it up. It's like $21 on Amazon. Australia. And you know what just fucking sucks about this? I don't want to use Amazon. I don't like Amazon. Amazon is like, ugh, you know? I don't want to use that shit. But it's come down to the point where, like, damn, I actually kind of, if I want to live and make sure that I'm actually a functioning human being, I guess I'd have to buy my lotion off Amazon now. Because if I bought 2 bottles, it would have been $60. Buying 2 bottles on Amazon, including delivery, it was like $50. It's like, okay, a $10 difference. That $10 can go a long way. Kind of. It's still, you're saving $10. And it's gonna come like tomorrow or something. Like, what the fuck? I don't even have to worry about like waiting like a whole week. Like, am I gonna run out of lotion? I'm not gonna run out until like Tuesday. I've got ages left. I've got plenty of lotion left. So it's like even like the urgency. It's like it doesn't matter. Like I don't need it right now. So there's no point spending $60 on fucking lotion. And it's really upsetting because it's like, I'm like gonna fake cry in a second. It's really upsetting. It is really upsetting because it's like, I didn't choose to have eczema. I didn't choose to have this problem with my skin. And yet there is just no way to really solve it. It's an unsolvable thing that I have to live with. And it is psychological warfare. My own body is psychologically warfaring against me. It's like, I hate to bring everything back, but it's kind of like the Vietnam War. It's like my own body is saying like, the doctors have abandoned you. The doctors can't do anything for you. You're all alone and no one can help you. No matter how many times you do wet wraps, it's not going to help you. My own body, bitch. Fuck. And it's like I live in Australia and it's because I went out twice over the weekend because it was so hot and the sun is out, I put on so much sunscreen that my sunscreen did this to me. It's supposed to be for sensitive skin. So, and you know, I just got over having really bad eczema during Christmas because my eczema was so bad because we went into the pool and I think the pool has like this salt water or like this weird like chemically stuff in it and it fucked my skin up so much. And it's like, this is why I don't go in water. This is why I don't ever do anything. Like, I hate showering because I just know that the moment I get in the shower and my hands get wet because you have to use your hands to wash your hair, I might as well fucking be bald at this point. you have to use your hands. And the moment that fucking conditioner and shampoo gets in your hands, it stings, it hurts, it's pain. You can already feel your skin drying up. And then when your skin is really dry and you move your hands around, you can feel the skin like stretching in like a really like uncomfortable way. And then the moment you get out of the shower, you have to moisturize right away. Right fucking away. You have to moisturize your shit. And then it's like, well, okay, I have to do my whole hair care routine, my skin care. Can't do that because my hands need to be moisturized. It's like, ugh. And it's just so disheartening to like see that the one product that really works for me is so expensive. It's so ridiculously expensive, and it's like, why? It's like, why? Like, there is no medical intervention available to me. It's just, I just have this problem and I have to live with it. It's the same with like fucking periods, man. I have to buy pads and tampons, and they cost like upwards of like $6 to $8. And a lot of them cause fucking ovarian cancer because of the way that they're made. Ugh. Wow, yeah, so this is a bit of a bummer episode, isn't it? But this is just like the way that things are, you know? I wish like I wish I wish it wasn't like this, I guess. So yeah, that's kind of just like how I'm feeling. My eczema's really done a number on my brain, and the oh, fuck, I just being woken up at 4 a.m. and the heat. Oh my god. At least it's like nice today. Today it's been raining like all morning. Beautiful. The plants are loving it. Dude. Our zucchini plants were like flop the fuck over yesterday, like in pain. But they're getting a good water today, so happy about that. And I don't think we're gonna have too hot of a time now. I mean, fuck. Saturday was 37, Sunday was 40. Celsius, by the way. Holy shit. That shit was insane. And of course, we had to go out to Costco yesterday and do our groceries yesterday too. Yeah. I think on like the bright side, what I have to do, I feel like I've just now realized is I need to buy sunscreen that's actually like by the same people who do like my eczema lotion. That's the conclusion I've come to because I've spent a lot of time trying to find a sunscreen that I can buy that's like a big tub because I do use a lot of it, but also okay for my skin. And for a while, I thought that the current one I have, the Nivea sensitive SPF 50, for a while I thought that was fine for my skin, but it feels like my skin gets so used to like a sunscreen that it gets to a point where it stops working, or like it's not that it stops working, but my skin starts to get agitated by it. So I think, and you know what's even funnier? I bought a whole new tub yesterday, and then I went, fuck, I shouldn't have bought that because I should buy an eczema one. Yeah. Yeah. And like, look, I've done a lot of, I've been around, okay? Before you start typing like, have you tried goat's milk? Hold on. I have done colloidal oats wet wraps. Those have been like some of the best methods for dealing with skin like this. The colloidal oats wet wraps, so fucking good. It's where you get like colloidal oats, you put it in like some warm water, or it could be cold water, I think. I don't think it matters. Is it warm water or cold water? I don't think it matters too much. Be careful about extremes because if you do like extreme cold or extreme hot, that really agitates eczema. I learned that recently. I actually didn't realize that, but it makes sense actually. So you get like bandages Yay. And you put them in this colloidal oat watery mixture and you let them soak. And then you, like, obviously go, you wring them out. And then you wrap them around your eczema. It's so good. I would put on lotion and then put on the wraps, I think. It's so soothing. It's so perfect. But again, I found out that, like, oh, colloidal oats is actually really expensive. Do you want to know how to make colloidal oats? You literally just put fucking oats, like, I don't know, like rolled oats or whatever, in a fucking blender, blend it up. There's your colloidal oats, mate. I wish I knew that before I bought a bunch off eBay. Wow, the rain is so nice and soothing. Anyway. Okay. It's been 20 minutes. Eczema rant over. I cannot talk about this anymore or I will be radicalized. Radicalized into what? I don't fucking know. Alright. Here we have... Hold on. Timestamps. Alright, let's try this again. 21 minutes. Depressed home. Depressed arm. Let's go with that. Alright. Yes. You are depressed. I know that place way too well. And I work my butt off to stay out of the D zone. This is a real article, y'all. I work my butt off to stay out of the D zone. Oh yeah? Well, I'm a hoe and I try to stay in the D zone. So, suck on that. Okay, here are 10 little things that will give you a lift. You may not think you have the energy to do them, but trust me, you can. It's as easy as reading this post. Reading's actually quite hard for me to do. Actually, yeah, what about the people who have dyslexia? I don't think reading this post is that easy for them. Bigot. Okay, what if I tried reading this like those regular podcasters? You know that... Oh, dude. Okay, not to get onto another rant, but sometimes when I open Spotify, it'll recommend me podcasts. And I'm not trying to be an elitist podcaster here because my podcast is the bottom of the barrel of podcasts, but I hate like the overly manufactured nature that so many of them have, where it's like it's a 50-minute episode, there's like 3 red sponsorships where one's for fucking like men's razors, one is for like fucking HelloFresh probably, and then another one is for fucking honey. Honey's a scandal. And then the cover art for their podcast is like it's like a white blonde woman wearing like a pink blazer behind like a really bright yellow Buzzfeed background. And then there's like text being like, women, or like fucking, I don't know. That's all I got, women. Okay, no, not women. It would be like, it'll be titled something really just basic, but I can't think of anything basic. Like, Words with Sally. I don't know. And then Words with Sally is hosted by, Mary or something, and then she's like, she talks like really enunciated. The podcasters, like these professional podcasters, they enunciate so much that they really emphasize every single word that they say. And they do these mouth movements, and it honestly sounds really, really exhausting. And it's like you listen to it and you just think, oh my god, are you even a real person? They sound so fake, and they have to do that for like 50 minutes? Couldn't be me. But you know what? I'm gonna try and read this article like a professional podcaster. Okay. Number 1. When you wake up, get yourself out of bed. Lying there will only let the negative thoughts gather energy. Once you start moving, your frame of reference for the day will change. You know this is true. 2. Before making your coffee or whatever your morning ritual is, open up your phone and read something funny. There are so many apps that offer a joke a day and websites that point you to the funniest tombstones. Quotes, I wanted a pyramid. Could you imagine your tombstone says, I wanted a pyramid? And then, like, the other podcaster goes, oh my god, Michelle, that is so funny. The trick is to surf the web until you laugh out loud. Once that happens, you can go on with your day. Okay, this sounds like you have to surf the web until you laugh out loud? Have you met a depressed person before? Huh? Laugh out loud? Um, actually, if you are looking for like joke websites or something, I can imagine at least one of them would make me laugh out loud. So there is that, I guess. I'm imagining like TikTok. Unfortunately, my TikTok for you page doesn't often make me laugh, but dude, I'm gonna say my TikTok for you page is full of like videos of people doing like video essays, kind of, where they talk about like society and then they talk about like, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's just like talking about like issues within society and like issues from like other countries. I get a lot of like political stuff. So it doesn't really tend to make me laugh out loud. Okay. Number 3. If you have someone next to you, most likely you're a fortunate person. Most people find it hard to live with someone who's depressed. The fallout can be difficult. Your task is to communicate your appreciation to the one who loves you. That's it. This will also make you appreciate yourself more. Damn! It's really hard living with someone who has depression, so can you just let that person know that, like, you're grateful that they're even, like, in the presence of such a fucking loser bumfuck? I know that's not the way that they're saying it, but that's the way I'm taking it. Alright. Plan your day. Business may be slow and you may not have the energy to work anyway, or so you think. Even if your calendar is empty, you need to plan your day. It can be simple. Get up, eat, walk the dog, write your blog, take care of your environment. Simply knowing that you'll go about the daily tasks of living can feel good. And when you are running errands or cleaning off your desk, purging files, or just doing the dishes, you won't have time to feel so down. I know that's right. It's not bad. 5. Get clean. When you don't have to be anywhere, it's easy to skip the shower, which isn't so horrible, unless it goes on for more than a day or 2. Bathing daily is healthy. It wakes you up. You always feel better afterward. Keeping clean is a basic thing that some people suffering from depression can find really difficult to do. So now you know, bathing is important, and it makes a difference. Eye roll. Feed yourself well. It's easy enough to live on a diet of fast or frozen food or delivery, but it's not nurturing or healthy. Making yourself one good meal a day can seem daunting at first, but in time, you will look forward to it because self-nurturing is still nurturing. And if you don't cook, at least order good food for yourself. Might we suggest Subway? I put that on at the end. Find a way to make or save money. If you clip a couple of coupons, find a deal online for something you need. Or take back those shoes you thought you wanted but will never wear. You make yourself a little more financially secure. Money worries are very common when you're depressed, so being a little bit careful is also healthy. Here we go. Interact with another real human being. Depression can cause you to want to avoid other people, but almost nothing could be worse for your condition, even if it's someone you know only casually. Just saying, hello, how are you, will lift your spirits as well as theirs. Having a real conversation, sharing feelings can do even more. Bitch, be realistic. I am not messaging my friend from like primary school who I haven't talked to in like a couple months and being like, "Hey, how are you? By the way, I'm so depressed and like I'm just like I hate my living situation." Like that's so socially like inept. I'm sorry, but like I feel like that's so socially inappropriate to do. It's like it's one of those things where like they're a good enough friend where I'm like they wouldn't mind if I did that. I'm sure they'd even probably like to have an open honest discussion. We do have those, but to just out of nowhere be like, "Hey, how are you?" and then start talking about how you're like in a really bad way. It almost feels like to me like a thing where you're like, "Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god." I'm trying to say it, but it's like I don't know how to put it into words. It's like you're only coming out to talk to them just so that you can get something off your chest. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like someone would see that and be like, wow, it kind of seems like they just wanted to talk about themselves. I don't know. You know what? That's probably like a really, um, that's probably just my brain being like super, socially anxious, I guess. I don't like to think that I have that much like social anxiety. I feel like I'm okay with social stuff, but I think I do tend to overthink a lot like what's an appropriate social conversation. So, maybe that's just me. Here we go. Here we go. Spend 10 minutes learning about meditation. The jury is in. Meditation works. You may think it's not for you or not possible for you, but do some research. The practice is so simple and the rewards are great. That has gotta be the laziest effing written piece of meditation I've ever fucking seen. The jury is in. Meditation works. But you're not going to explain how it works or why it works or what it even does. You're just saying, like, just do it because people say it works. I hate this article. I hate this article. Um, don't buy into depression think. This is when you allow yourself to be limited by your depression. You don't have to. Depression is an illness, but it doesn't have to define who you are. Remember, you don't have to be a victim of depression. You can fight this. Oh my god. Brother. This is the dude who wrote this. Hold on. So I'm like kind of a judgy bitch, aren't I? I'm sorry, but it's just like so milquetoast. Like I already told y'all. Some of these are actually quite like. I guess I didn't. I only guessed 5 things. What did I guess? I guessed meditation. I guessed talking to people. I did guess sleeping. I don't think they mentioned sleep, did they? Yeah, interestingly enough, they did not mention sleeping. And they didn't even mention exercise. So yeah, I got 3. I got 3 right. That's yeah, yeah, meh. Okay, so this wait, eat well. I think eat well, talk to people, and meditation, and then I guess sleep and exercise. And they didn't really mention exercise at all, so I would know. I just heard a really amazing podcaster mention it all, and it was very clear and very succinct, so I would know. Was that good? Did we like that? Or was that like super fucking weird to listen to? I don't know why, but it's like if I try to enunciate what I'm saying, it's like all of a sudden I turn American. I don't know why. If you could call it that. I don't even know if that was very like ugh. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to enunciate and not sound American. So we'll see how that goes. Alright. I can't believe it. If you have someone, you're very fortunate because most people wouldn't stay with a depressed loser like you. Damn. PubMed, living environment and its relationship to depressive mood. Oh. That is from PubMed. I don't know if I feel like reading a whole research paper. Let me look. Background and aims. The notion that environment affects mental health has a long history. In this systematic review, we aim to study whether the living environment is related to a depressive mood. I can tell you. Adverse house/built environment conclusion, including poor housing quality and non-functioning lack of green spaces, noise, and air pollution are related to depressive mood and should be taken into account during planning in order to prevent depressive mood. Not exactly what I was asking for, but I feel like I'm not in like a noise polluty area. I don't think. There's plenty of greenery too, so no. All I gotta say is that be kind to your friends who are living in share houses. Be kind. Because you never know what they're going through. Yeah, so I was looking at that stuff. I was gonna look at some articles. Read you guys some news. Warning everybody in America. Ugh. Millions are hit by a huge winter storm in the US. Surprising. Hold on. Timestamp 37 minutes. Oh, I wrote that wrong. Winter storm. Okay, where were we? According to BBC News, millions hit by huge winter storm as 6 US states declare state of emergency. Okay. That is an emergency. Apparently New Jersey, and some parts of New Jersey. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, what a name, declared, state of emergency for several counties, citing heavy snow, sleet, freezing rain, high wind gusts, and freezing temperatures. Okay. Counties covered by the declaration. If anyone from New Jersey is watching, if you were in Atlantic, Burlington, Camden, Cape May, Cumberland, Gloucester, and Salem, you're covered in the declaration of emergency. So watch out for that one. Murphy reiterated warnings to avoid all travel. A state of emergency has also been declared in the states of Kansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, and Arkansas. So watch out if you live in those areas. Which I know we have a big West Virginia audience here. Big. We're big in Virginia. So, yeah. That's something. State of emergency. We've been fine, aside from like the heat wave. But I guess it makes sense. Extreme temperatures in Australia, extreme temperatures in America. That surely is not symbolic of a deeper, bigger problem with the world. Nope. And apparently the polar bears at the zoo are loving this cold snap, but the elephants, not so much. At Kansas City Zoo, Harsh conditions have forced zookeepers to stay with their animal wards overnight. Holy shit. Stuart Clausen says the weather in Missouri is pretty severe, as he and the team make sure the animals have all they need to endure the cold. That must be so fucking weird for like elephants and giraffes, which are like what native from like Africa, like a hot ass continent. And they're like in this like snowy like fucking prison, and they're like, this isn't what it's supposed to be like, right? Although I don't know, I wonder if they. I think it does get cold in some parts of Africa, so maybe it's not that weird for them actually. Anyway, um, okay, for the elephants and giraffes, this means staying in warm, heated shelters, but for those adapted to colder climates, there's a chance for enrichment. Yay. The penguins and polar bears have been outside and enjoying the snow and feel at home in the wintry conditions. Okay. Cool. Cool. So yeah, that's the extreme weather forecast, everybody. Oh, what else do we got? We got France news. Oh god. Do we want to talk about this? This is pretty heavy. This is a pretty heavy news thing. Okay. I do know like some of the rundown of it, so I guess we'll talk about it. Gisele Pelicot. Okay, guys. Trigger warning for R word. Assault. Okay, rape and assault, really. There's this thing that's been happening in France for like a while. I think sometime last year, a case came out against this dude for drugging his wife and then letting like over 50 different guys rape her. Gisele Pelicot. And it's been a really sad case. Actually, it wasn't just her. Her daughter as well. I think her daughter's like 41. Gisele Pelicot is like 74, I think. I think she's 74. So the husband had been drugging both his wife and his daughter, except he was allowing his wife to be raped, and then his daughter, from what we know, he would just take like photos of her like naked or like in underwear or something. Not to say that like, oh, that's like nothing. Like that's whoa, hold the fuck up. That's fucking crazy, right? And do you want to know how how like the police launched this investigation against this guy? Apparently, he was caught um trying to take upskirt shots of women in public, and that's what launched the investigation. And then he had, I think, video evidence or like image evidence of Gisele being like raped, and then text messages between him and assailants where he'd be like, hey, I just gave her the sleeping pill now, just wait 2 hours and then you can come in. And then one of the assailants was like, if you gave her a sleeping pill, why do we have to wait 2 hours? It's working already. And the guy said, if you wait longer, then she will be in a deeper sleep and she won't be woken up. So he was very, let's say he was very, I don't know, he had a lot of experience doing this, so he knew exactly, like, the right time to do stuff, or whatever. So, very fucked up, but it's so amazing to me that he is such a perverse little fucking gremlin that he went out in public, did this, basically, what is it when if you take upskirt shots of people, like women, is that sexual harassment, sexual assault? It's like, how the hell are you so like, you're so disturbed in the head that you do that. Thank God he did it, because if he didn't do it, Gisele probably never would have found out, because Gisele was even talking about how over the years or something, she would go to doctors being like, hey, I'm having this problem where I'm like losing time. Like, I wake up and I don't remember things, or like I just like, I don't remember shit. And a lot of doctors were like, sounds like dementia, babe. So she was even herself like, am I getting dementia? Like, what a scary thing. What a scary, scary thing to think that you're getting dementia or something and you're losing like your mental grips on reality, when in actuality, your husband is drugging you and then letting strangers do all sorts of things, and you're like 74 years old. Like, you're gonna spend so much, like you have like I think they have like 3 or 4 kids together or something, and it's like one of these things where just like that amount of pain, that amount of like, you're with someone for so long and you think that they're fantastic and you have a great relationship, and then it's like, oh, you're actually like the reason that I've been unwell. You're actually like my the villain in my story, like literally. My God. And thank God there was so much evidence, because like, I don't think anyone can go like, oh well, we need to wait and see what the evidence has to say. The evidence is pretty fucking clear, because this guy was a stupid fuck. My God. So yeah, Dominique Pelicot, the guy who did it, sentenced to 20 years prison in French mass rape trial. Yeah, he was drugging her for a decade and recruiting strangers online to rape her. His 50 co-defendants were also convicted by the court, receiving jail terms between 3 and 15 years. Just 3 years? She has to live with this for the rest of her life. And she even said in one of her quotes was like, girl, I'm 75 or 73, so whatever, I'm 70 something. I'm never going to be able to process this for the rest of my life. Like, literally. How devastating is that? And then I think there was some drama between her and her daughter, because her daughter's also a victim. But the daughter was kind of being like, I don't feel like anyone's taking, like, me seriously. And I don't think anyone's recognizing that I'm also a victim here too. And so it sounds like the mum hasn't been as supportive to her as she would have liked or something. So even like these actions that this guy has done, he doesn't even deserve to be named. This fuck ass, his actions have further created like a tear between the mother and the daughter. Like, because I wouldn't blame either one of them for this, because they're obviously both going through like hell. Like, imagine finding out that like, your father was doing this to you. Your husband? Your father? That's so fucked up. So I feel like both of them probably just feel the way that they do, and if the mum's not giving enough like support to the daughter at the moment, I feel bad for both of them, but I also feel like I just couldn't fathom if I went my whole life thinking one thing, and then by the time I'm like, at the end of my life, no offense to Gisele, but the perspective there has got to be just so like shattering. And then it's like, how do you even provide support to someone when you yourself are going through something like so terrible? So I feel like they should probably just seek support from like a therapist or something, or other people. But anyway, I mean, that's my opinion about it. At the end of the day, it's like they're both victims, and yeah. All right, let's have a look at this article. Let's see. They received jail terms between 3 and 15 years, less than what prosecutors had demanded. 2 of these defendants had their jail terms suspended. I don't know what that means. As in they didn't get them or something? The 3 Pelicot children are disappointed by these low sentences, said a family member, asking not to be identified, adding that there was no question of any of the children wanting to speak to their father after the conviction. Yeah. Many of the defendants, the guys who raped her, arrived with their bags packed ready for prison. One of them was in tears as he hugged his companion before entering the courtroom. Why are you crying? You like knowingly raped a woman who was well, obviously defenseless, but like drugged. And you're crying about going to jail? Oh my god. Okay. Hmm. Oh, so the father was 72 and admitted drugging Gisele for almost a decade. Okay, we already read that. Um, his lawyer did not rule out lodging an appeal of the verdict. Great. And quote, "We are going to use the 10 days which we have to decide whether or not to appeal this decision," Beatrice Zavaro told reporters. I would hate to be his lawyer. Okay, alongside her husband, 50 other men aged 27 to 74 have been on trial, including one who did not abuse her but raped his own wife with the guy's help. So he basically went to the dude like, "Hey, I know you're doing this whole thing with your drugging your wife. Can you teach me how to do it so I can do it to my own wife?" My god. The bar is in hell, guys. Okay. Okay, anything else? It was widely expected that Dominique Pelicot, the guy who was going to jail, would receive the full 20-year term, but considerably more uncertainty has surrounded the sentencing of the other defendants. The prosecution had requested 10 to 18 years in prison against the 49 defendants also charged with aggravated rape. One of these accused is on the run and is being tried in absentia. Wow, one of them has escaped. Shit. One more accused facing the lesser charge of groping had risked up to 4 years in prison. 32 of the accused have attended the trial as free men, while the others, including Dominique, were remanded in custody. Okay. Wow. Okay, Gisele Pelicot's children, David, Caroline, and Florian, arrived half an hour earlier, entering the courtroom alongside a group of men accused of raping their mother. Wow. The case has sparked protests and drew fresh attention to male violence in France. Yeah, hoping that it'll lead to a change in society. It's time that the macho, patriarchal society that trivializes rape changes, Gisele Pelicot said in November. Yeah, I think that, probably takes a fuck ton of courage to have a court case like that because it is very, like, let's be honest, guys, like, sex in general is, like, a very private, very, like, intimate part of life, but then to be, like, violated in such a way like that and to make it so public, it's a very brave stance to have, but it's all at the same time it's like the shame should not be on her, it should be on the men who did this. And it sounds like her husband, well, ex-husband, let's call him an ex-husband. It sounds like he's gonna get the what he deserves. He's gonna die in jail, hopefully. And that's it. And I'm glad that the children aren't talking to him. That's good. But it must be hard because it's like they lost their father. It's like this really disillusioning thing where it's like someone who you thought you knew your whole life and then turns out sorry. Turns out he was a fucking weirdo scumbag. It's like that's That's tough to come to terms with too. Holy shit. But yeah, that's the Gisele Pelicot trial stuff. It's been going on for a little bit, but it's it's done, I guess. All right. So here's another article that I thought was interesting. Alcohol should have cancer warning label. Top U.S. health official says. I agree, and I'm really fucking surprised it doesn't have one yet. You know, the most prominent label on alcohol that I see is the pregnancy ones, where it says, alcohol can do lifelong damage to your baby. What about the lifelong damage it's going to cause to us? Us adult humans. But no, we're worried about the babies. Okay. That's fucking weird. So we're gonna have a label that's like, this is gonna damage your baby, and no one's gonna look at that label and be like, wow, yeah, that I'm sure that's all it damages, and definitely doesn't cause like fucking mouth cancer, throat cancer, tongue cancer, fucking liver cancer, pancreatic cancer, I think, stomach cancer. Bruh. Okay. Alcoholic drinks should have labels warning consumers that they cause cancer, the United States top government doctor said on Friday. Surgeon General, what even is a Surgeon General? I want to look it up. What is a Surgeon General? Like, is it like the best surgeon in the country? What is a Surgeon General? They're just a senior medical officer in the Army or Navy, or the head of the United States Public Health Service. Oh, okay. The Surgeon General reports to the Assistant Secretary for Health, ASH. The ASH may be a 4-star admiral in the Commission Corps and serves as a principal advisor to the Secretary of Health and Human Services on public health and scientific issues. Bro, what the fuck does that mean? Surgeon General is a title, I need my glasses, is a title for senior military or public health officers in various countries. Okay, so it's like, okay, a decorated rank or something. Okay, Surgeon General Vivek Murthy, sorry, it kind of sounds like you're trying to say Murphy, but with a lisp. Vivek Murthy. Sorry. If you have a lisp, I'm sorry. Vivek Murthy said the connection between cancer and alcohol has been known for decades, yet the majority of Americans are unaware of the risk. The majority of the world, I'd say, is unaware of the risk. Seriously. Alright, called for health warnings on alcoholic drinks to highlight that they cause cancer and urged a reassessment of daily consumption limits due to the risks. And as we know in that video I did before, you can check out my previous podcast episodes. I did one on alcohol, and doctors recommend at the minimum 1 to 2 standard alcoholic drinks a week. And even then, it's that limit is made thinking of, well, most people want to drink alcohol, and as doctors would not recommend you drink any. I'm not a doctor, but like from what I've read, they wouldn't suggest any alcohol. But if you want like an okay what's it called when you like, not comparison. Well, not comparison. What is that word? Compromise. A compromise would be 1 to 2 standard drinks a week. But most people definitely, I think for men it's like 2 to 3. Yeah, I think for men it's like 2 to 3 standard drinks. Women it's 1 to 2. Alright. Vivek said that the connection between alcohol and cancer has been known since the 1980s, with mounting evidence reinforcing the dangers. Yet mandatory warning labels fail to address the health threat. Alcohol is a well-established preventable cause of cancer, responsible for 100,000 cancer cases and 20,000 cancer deaths annually in the US. Who emphasized that this toll exceeds the approximately 13,500 alcohol-related traffic fatalities each year. Drinking and driving. Name a better duo. Yet the majority of Americans are unaware of the risk. Okay. Underscoring the urgent need for public education. Yeah, introduced in 1988, the existing warning label only states that women should not drink alcohol during pregnancy because of the risk of birth defects. And that consumption of alcoholic beverages impairs your ability to drive a car or operate machinery and may cause health problems. Yeah, so apparently other countries like South Korea and Ireland have actually done a better job of modernizing the labels to reflect the now well-established cancer risk. Alcohol consumption raises the risk of at least 7 types of cancer, including breast, colorectal, liver, mouth, throat, esophageal, laryngeal cancers. For breast cancer alone, alcohol accounts for 16.4% of all cases. Yeah. But public awareness lags far behind. A 2019 survey found that only 45% of Americans identified alcohol as a cancer risk factor, compared to 91% for radiation exposure and 89% for tobacco use, 81% for asbestos exposure, and 53% for obesity. Yeah, obesity is like a cancer risk, isn't it? Let's not go back there. I said I was taking a break from that wheel train. The new advisory also questioned the adequacy of US dietary guidelines, which recommend a daily limit of 2 drinks for men and 1 for women. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Alarmingly, 17% of alcohol-related cancer deaths occur among individuals who stay within these limits, suggesting the need for a re-evaluation. Whoa. Okay, that's tea. 17% of alcohol-related cancer deaths occur among individuals who stay within those limits. Holy shit. So if you feel like if you have 2 standard drinks or 1 standard drink a week and you think you're safe, wake up call, you're not. You're not safe. That's pretty alarming. 17% of alcohol-related cancer deaths. I mean, you do have to kind of wonder, like, how do they even keep track of that, you know? Like, do you actually believe that the people who are saying that they're doing that are actually doing that? Because it's quite possible that the people who are like not really keeping track of that. Do you know what I mean? It's quite possible that that's not that accurate. But either way. Wow. Hmm. Okay, alcohol contributes to cancer through 4 key mechanisms. It metabolizes into acetaldehyde, acetaldehyde. I swear I got this once before, but I don't know. That damages DNA and induces oxidative stress, harming DNA, proteins, and cells. It disrupts hormone levels, including estrogen, which increases breast cancer risk. And it heightens absorption of carcinogens, including from tobacco. So what we learned from the last episode on alcohol stuff that I did, um, if you consume tobacco or like cigarettes or whatever in conjunction with alcohol, the risk cancer for the risk for cancer is multiplicative. So instead of like those risks by themselves being like solitary, they exacerbate each other. I'm pretty sure that's my understanding of it. I'm not a doctor. This isn't medical information or like help. Okay, do not mistake me for a doctor. I'm not a doctor. Not giving medical advice here. I'm just saying that is what I read, and that is my understanding of what that meant. So, if you are someone who smokes and drinks, it's like, whoa, that's bad. So, guys, let this be a sign for the New Year's, if you are struggling with alcohol use and tobacco use or cigarettes and shit, smoking, vaping, you know, you can get help for it, and you should. It's something that you can work on, and it could be just like, speaking from like kind of experience, you can go to the doctor and you can say, hey, I'm dealing with this issue, can we do something about it? And they can actually give you medication. I'm speaking for cigarettes. If you're struggling with smoking cigarettes, you can go to the doctor and they can prescribe you a medication you take, and the medication will literally make smoking like um unsavory, or it does something to make smoking itself, oh, really uncomfortable. Hold on. Yeah. So you can take medication that'll make smoking like miserable. And then I think that works to like make it so whenever you think about smoking, you associate that with like it's called classical conditioning. And then you associate smoking with that terrible like taste, right? Or something like that. Anyway, so like you can go to the doctor, your doctor can help you with this stuff. Trust me, they can. Um you just have to stick to it, really. You have to stick to it, you have to be determined. Like, as humans, we're very flawed in that we don't think about the future in the way that like we should. We are very like present tense focused. That's why a lot of people have problems with like finances, because you literally have trouble. Like the limitation of our brain is that we cannot think about ourselves when we're like 80. It's just like we just have so much trouble doing it, right? And so when you're thinking about like your finances, you have to think about you when you're 80. You have to think about you when you're 80 and you can't walk anymore. That's why you need to like stretch and do yoga and stuff, because you need to, you're not always going to be the way that you are now, right? It's the same with like anything. And so guys, let that be a positive message to end the podcast. Do some stretches, do what you can. If you can go for a walk for like 5 or 10 minutes, do it. If you don't use it, you lose it. That's what they say, right? Go to your doctor and talk to them today. If you have time, go today. Do not wait. Go today, go to them, tell them what you're going through, ask them if they can help you. There's going to be a way out, okay? And I find for me, when I read about this stuff and I remember like just how bad these like vices are for us, that really helps motivate me to like quit these things. I'll be honest, like I did drink a little bit more while I was away for Christmas, and I've got to get back into like my good routines. I've got to, like, I even haven't done yoga for a bit too, and I've got to get back into it. And it's the new year. We don't have to be all like, oh, New Year's resolution, and put all this pressure. It's like, make yourself attainable goals and do them. And I'd say just get started on your health right now. And like people always say like, oh well, I know someone who's like 80 and they smoke like 10 packs a day and they're fine. And it's like, well, that's them and you're you. And you don't know if that's going to happen to you or not. Do you want to take the risk? Because I don't think anyone wants to end their life being like, like in Australia, thankfully we have cigarettes where they have to put these like warning labels of like these, dude, I swear, no offense, but these people who are pictured on the packaging literally look like they're from The Walking Dead, like season 1. Like season 1, episode 1 of The Walking Dead. You know how there's a zombie in the grass that Rick like does a mercy kill on? That's what they look like. It's pretty fucking insane. But I'm so grateful that they do that here in Australia, because I really do think it's like, I think it's somewhat effective messaging. But anyway, so there you have it. You heard it here first on the Catching Up with Kate podcast. Quit drinking, quit smoking. And I'll get back to you next episode on how well I'm being, how well of a good girl I'm being with it. And we're gonna do this together, okay? No more drinking. I mean, I would say, obviously, first talk with your doctor these things, because if you try to quit something, if you try to quit something like cold turkey, that can be really seriously dangerous. So if you have like a dependency on these substances, definitely talk to your doctor about having a plan in place for these things so that you can safely wean off them. That is definitely a thing that you need to do. So, yeah. As much as I want to encourage you to stop today, stop with advice from your doctor, okay? Oh, okay. I hope that was inspiring, if need be. Um, and look, like, you, chances are the first time you try to quit, you're not. There's a pretty high chance that you will relapse and stuff. And I would say the key is to not put too much shame on yourself for that. That is a really like it's just a thing that happens because when your brain goes through addiction, like you go, it's like a very vicious cycle, and your brain is so trained and hardwired to be addicted to this thing that it'll put you through so many things to try and get you to get more of the substance again. And it's kind of just what happens, and everyone expects it to kind of happen. So don't feel shame over it if you do relapse. Just remember that you have. Sorry, there's flies everywhere. Ugh. Just remember that you have chances. You have a lot of chances to get it right, and it'll take a few times probably. And if you do it, if you get it right the first time, good on you. But if you don't sweat it. You'll get there. You will get there. It'll be fine. And if you are around people who make you feel bad for relapsing, um, then those people are probably not going to be very useful to you during your recovery. Because if someone makes you feel shame for that, then that only serves to negatively influence your recovery. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, like if I was recovering from like an addiction and someone was saying like, "Oh, you started again? Well, fuck you" or something, that would not help me be better. That would make me go, "Well, I'm a piece of shit, so I might as well just keep doing it, right?" So make sure that you are keeping people around who are actually helpful. And it might just be like you need to explain this to people, you know? Like you might just need to explain to them like, hey, this is kind of a part of the recovery process. Experts will say this, like yada yada yada. Because chances are a lot of people don't really understand like how addiction works, and like especially like loved ones, they just might not understand your side of the field when it comes to it. So having a good discussion about it and having a heart to heart and explaining these things can be really helpful for both parties. So I'm not saying you need to cut anyone out. I'm just saying a conversation is good. And like another thing with it is like if you feel like you might relapse and you're worried about people seeing you like drink or something, and then you start having to hide it, that's like so much worse. That's so much worse. Anyway, again, talk to addiction specialists. There's a lot of sources out there to help you, and you can do it. Okay? You can. It's possible. People do it every single day, and I know it's hard. So, I'll leave it there. 2025. 2025. This is another year. I hope you have a good Monday, and I will see you next week. Yeah, I'll see you next week, and hopefully we'll have like a nice, cheerful episode. We'll see. I don't know what we'll talk about. We'll talk about something. See, like today, I had no idea what I was going to talk about, and then we had some conversations. I had some conversations. I pretended to be an expert podcaster. All right. I'll see you later, guys. Okay. Bye.